You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents.
To be clear, Caitlin Clark is being fouled at a record rate. Some of them are brutal fouls, and a lot of the refs are looking the other way.
Fortunately, it's creating a textbook hostile work environment for Caitlin Clark. And under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, the federal government does have an ability to engage.
Caitlin Clark recently revealed devastating news. The player is out for the season due to excessive fouling, lack of protection, and disrespect. That's correct. Caitlin Clark gets harmed. The league's biggest star is leaving. The WNBA treated her as if she did not matter, not because she is weak.
But despite all that success that she's immediately had, the league has basically looked the other way as she's been targeted on a weekly basis.
Is it correct that Caitlin Clark blasted into the scene? The Indiana Fever signed her. The WNBA experienced significant media attention. We've had rookies before, but not like this. She was more than just a player. She quickly became the league's most recognizable figure, known as the Golden Goose or Cash Cow. Clark was it.
Okay, because she's brilliant. Right? That's why she's wreaking havoc. Because she is so...
And the figures. They yelled louder than any headline. The league app engagement increased by 6,313%. Who has checked the WNBA app before? Nobody till Clark showed up. Subscriptions. Yes, those increased by 366%. The league's popularity skyrocketed after she joined. Now there are merchandise sales. That's just insane. A 610% rise. Everyone wanted Caitlin's jersey, name, and number. And don't get me started on what she did with the Indiana Fever. Their franchise value has tripled. Let that sink in. One rookie player tripled the team's value, propelling it from obscurity to prominence.
Attention about Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has had a seismic impact on the WNBA ever since she first joined. Merchandise sales.
Despite this, it caused the league's largest storm. The WNBA did not honor the player with a parade, sculptures, or even a protective bubble wrap outfit. Instead, she outperformed three-time MVP Asia Wilson. The league went into silent panic mode. Why? Because a white rookie accomplished what veterans could not. The conversation shifts beyond basketball to include politics, egos, and jealousy.
After she was drafted and heading into her rookie year, Asia Wilson, who is a three-time MVP of the league, she's won the championship for the Las Vegas Aces, she came out and addressed the attention that Caitlin
Clark didn't ask for the drama. She simply played her game. However, once her face appeared on every highlight reel, the game was over. The criticism was harsh. It was not subtle. It was not professional. And it was definitely not safe. So here's what occurred. She's stepping away. That's the big news. She is out for the season. Not because she washed. Not even close. She had been physically and mentally exhausted from her time on the court.
She is taking on harder fouls and at a higher rate than any of her peers. So it turns out that in her rookie season, she absorbed 17% of all flagrant fouls, or hard fouls.
The drama felt personal, but the statistics proved it. Let's revisit the numbers. Caitlin Clark received 17% of all egregious and hard fouls in the WNBA this season. Take a moment to consider how insane this is. One player accounts for approximately 1/5 of the league's worst hits. And guess what? This amount is more than double the next closest player. Double. That is not competition. That is targeted.
It boils her blood when people try and say that it's not about race. And so, unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot of commentary that's being made by players when they're on camera and they know reporters are watching.
Taps were also disliked by these individuals. This refers to mid-air collisions and blindside shoulder checks, similar to those seen in rugby rather than basketball. Additionally, the officials appeared to take a passive role in the game, despite Clark's poor performance. Viral footage showed her being fouled 3 to 4 times on a single possession and receiving nothing. The referees appear to have forgotten their job description.
More than double the rate of any of her peers. This is not something that you would see occur to any other top star in any other league. And I think a lot of fans are scratching their heads of why the league is allowing this to continue.
The best part is that no players were suspended for it. Not one. It didn't matter how obvious the foul was, how many slow-mo replays went viral, or how loudly the audience gasped. There is no action. The league simply shrugged. Please explain how that makes sense. One analyst stated it clearly. She is at risk of sustaining a career-ending injury with just one flagrant. And guess what? It has finally occurred. She is currently out for the season.
There's a lot of jealousy and animosity, and that can be understood, right? If you've been MVP of the league in the past, yet you were unable to achieve.
But here's where things get hot. The issue at hand extends beyond foul play. This is more than just a tough basketball competition. No, it grew much deeper. A.A. Wilson expressed herself openly. Race is a major issue. I find it upsetting when others claim otherwise. This is a 3-time MVP dropping the race card on live mic. No filtering. Clark's abilities extend beyond catching bodies on the court. She unknowingly contributes to a cultural rift.
Unable to achieve the visibility and perhaps the endorsements that Caitlin Clark has received right out of the gate, it shows that it's normal to assume that there would be some degree of resentment. However, the concern is that resentment is then leading to targeting on the court.
Veteran Black players are frustrated that a white rookie has stolen the spotlight after years of hard work and lack of media attention. I understand the frustration. However, on-court retribution is a unique challenge.
Because Ms. Clark's civil rights are being violated as she is targeted on the court, the basketball court, and no one's protecting her. Is that what you're saying?
Clark avoided discussing racism, blaming others, or acting as a victim. As she became the league's face, animosity grew, leading to an increase in fouls. She became the scapegoat for decades of overlooked Black potential. While the debate is valid, it should not be resolved through physical confrontation. Make sure this does not happen.
That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulder.
Sophie Cunningham, a teammate, admitted it as well. The league star player is not protected. That says it all. We are not opponents or admirers. Her buddy called out the league. When abuse occurs on a weekly basis and no action is taken, it no longer feels like a game. This is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
It's basically done for the WNBA what Michael Jordan did for...
Legally, this is a hostile work environment. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act states that racial discrimination, uneven treatment, and carelessness can be proven without the use of insults. That is more than enough. If this case goes to court, the WNBA will need to explain how their most valuable asset was chased without warning.
And the amount Caitlin Clark is being fouled compared to any of her peers in the league, or the treatment that she receives compared to any other top stars in any other leagues, there's no comparison to it.
Now,
we are here because of this stupidity. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's most well-known player, has ended her season. Despite her impressive marketing skills, she struggled on the court and in politics. She may be hurt, frustrated, and questioning her decision to join the league.
Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of Miss Clark, treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache.
The Wall Street Journal did not hold back. They explicitly stated that the WNBA is facing a civil rights case that could potentially escalate. It is no longer even a whisper. Each overlooked foul or shady non-call adds to the legal time bomb. The league's leadership is currently facing scrutiny, whether they prefer it or not.
Very obviously ratcheted down.
Let's get real. The problem is no longer limited to poor officiating. This behavior pattern clearly indicates discrimination. Remember the 1993 landmark case, Harris versus Forklift Systems? This case demonstrated that a hostile work atmosphere can exist without physical violence. Repeated demeaning behavior can make employees feel bad every time they check in. Sounds familiar?
What she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happen to be black female.
Another notable case is Tossenbury versus Texas Department of Community Affairs. Caitlin Clark's scenario clearly demonstrates unequal treatment, shifting the burden to the employer. She has received twice as many flagrant fouls as other players in the league. That is not speculation. That is math. Cold, brutal mathematics.
Maybe Caitlin Clark's civil rights are actually being violated. Is her right to a peaceful workplace, a non-hostile work environment, are those rights being violated?
It gets worse. We have received unrest public remarks. Actual words were captured on tape as players toss the race card about. Sophie Cunningham claims Clark isn't being protected. A.A. Wilson expresses her frustration with the current scenario. That is not subtle. That is not harmless. That is evidence. Leaked internal discussion suggests referees were instructed to allow Clark to play even if it resulted in his injury. Like what? Your most marketable celebrity is being targeted, and your response is to simply ignore it. Taps were also disliked by these individuals. This refers to mid-air collisions and blindside shoulder checks, similar to those seen in rugby rather than basketball. Additionally, the officials appeared to take a passive role in the game, despite Clark's poor performance. Viral footage showed her being fouled 3 to 4 times on a single possession and receiving nothing. The referees appear to have forgotten their job description. Veteran black players are frustrated that a white rookie has stolen the spotlight after years of hard work and lack of media attention. I understand the frustration. However, on-court retribution is a unique challenge. Despite this, it caused the league's largest storm. The WNBA did not honor the player with a parade, sculptures, or even a protective bubble wrap outfit. Instead, she outperformed 3-time MVP A'ja Wilson. The league went into silent panic mode. Why? Because a white rookie accomplished what veterans could not. The conversation shifts beyond basketball to include politics, egos, and jealousy.